If you would have told me 5 years ago, Vanderbilt football would flip the number one quarterback in a recruiting class away from Georgia, I would have called you crazy and would not have believed you. Even if you told me last year, I would have felt it was still a crazy thought, would not think it was realistically going to happen. That might turn out to be the case with 5-star quarterback Jared Curtis, and it actually is the case as of a few hours ago. Curtis flipped to Vanderbilt. Though, as I'm recording this, there are some conflicting reports coming out that Curtis has not officially flipped yet. We're going to make this video still because I've written the script, I've told a story, and I want to still talk about Jared Curtis and this whole situation, because this whole situation is insane. But before we get into this, if you enjoy college football content like this, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Also, let me know what you think is the craziest recruiting flip in the modern era in the comment section below. Jared Curtis is originally from Nashville, Tennessee, and plays high school football at Nashville Christian School in Bellevue, Tennessee. He would be named the starting quarterback for Nashville Christian almost immediately, winning the starting job as a freshman. He would have an amazing first season, leading Nashville Christian to a 10-3 record in the Division IIA title game, throwing for 2,285 yards, 27 touchdowns and 8 interceptions, while also rushing for 481 yards and 7 touchdowns on the ground. He was one of the best freshmen in the state of Tennessee and finished as the runner-up for the state's Mr. Football Award, something not a lot of players can claim. Jared was a star, and he was only going to continue to grow as a player as his high school career continued. His sophomore year would be a tough one as he led the Eagles to a 6-7 record, but they did make the state semifinals as he threw for 2,522 yards, 25 touchdowns and 9 interceptions, while also rushing for 543 yards and 13 touchdowns on the ground. During that sophomore season, he also met his now agent Peter Webb. Webb helped him with some trading card and apparel deals. As a junior, Curtis would throw for 2,830 yards, 40 touchdowns and 3 interceptions, while also rushing for 637 yards and 18 touchdowns on the ground. He led Nashville Christian to a 12-1 record and a Tennessee Division IIA state championship, the school's first in 9 years, while also being named the Max Preps Tennessee Player of the Year and Max Preps Junior All-American. At the time of recording, according to Max Preps, he has thrown for 1,863 yards, 31 touchdowns and 6 interceptions, while also rushing for 536 yards and 10 touchdowns on the ground, and has led Nashville Christian back to the state title game, which is played Thursday. Throughout his college career, he has thrown for 9,528 yards and 123 touchdowns, while also rushing for 2,199 yards and 48 touchdowns on the ground. He also played basketball in high school. He's a special player who wanted to compete at the highest level when it came to college. Webb explained to Dog Nation earlier this year, he's a kid who loves ball. He loves his family and just wants to go to a school that's going to give him the opportunity to be a great teammate, get a great education, and reach his dreams of playing at the highest level. I think that's been lost in the NIL world. If Jared Curtis was chasing the best compensation package, this may have been over a long time ago. These schools may not have even been in the finals. We were very clear from the beginning that you want to list out things that are important to you. You want to look at the location, the campus, the coaching staff. You want to look at the brand, the history of the program, the quarterback development, the quarterback coach, the offensive coordinator, and the system. You want to look at the quarterbacks that have come through their program and made it to the next level. You want to look at the recruiting class, look at the room. Are there some older guys in the room that you could learn from? NIL is a part of it. That's the reality and the opportunity of the landscape right now. But for Jared, it's always been a relatively small factor. He knows that getting it done on the field and in the classroom is what's most important and what will set him up for long-term success. We are proud of Jared for thinking holistically about his decision. It's a mature approach, and it's been very refreshing to watch unfold. At the time of recording, according to 24/7 Sports Composite, Jared Curtis is a 5-star recruit and the number 1 player in the nation. Received offers from the likes of Alabama, Georgia, Notre Dame, Ohio State, Oregon, Tennessee, Texas, and USC. He had the offers from the who's who of college football. He would originally commit to Georgia back in May. It was actually his second time he committed to Georgia, as he originally committed to the Bulldogs back in May of 2024 as well, but would decommit in October of 2024. If Curtis would have stayed committed to Georgia, he would have been the Bulldogs' highest-rated quarterback recruit since Justin Fields in 2018. Curtis seemed like a slam dunk for the Bulldogs, and it seemed like he was going to stay committed to them through National Signing Day. He was originally going to sign on Friday during the early signing period, but announced this week he was going to move it up to tomorrow, the first day of the early signing period. The smoke towards a flip to Vanderbilt goes back a few weeks ago, and really started bellowing out of the building when head coach Clark Lee signed an extension with the Commodores over the weekend, as Lee was rumored for jobs like Florida, LSU, and Penn State. I never thought Lee was going to leave Vandy, as he loves the school and graduated from the school, but once he signed the extension, Steve Wiltfong from Rivals logged an expert prediction that Vandy was going to flip Curtis before National Signing Day. I thought Jared was going to wait to flip this commitment till tomorrow during the actual signing day ceremony at 9 a.m. Central, but that is not the case, as he is officially flipped this afternoon to Vanderbilt. Though, as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, there are some conflicting reports that he may not have officially flipped. The reason Jared was going to wait until Friday is because he plays in the state championship game on Thursday, where he is looking to lead his school to their second straight state title. There was optimism from both sides leading into National Signing Day, as one commit from Georgia's class told On3, "Why would you flip from Georgia? You are playing for the best of the best. I don't see him flipping to a second-tier program," or something like that. Remember reading the article right before he flipped his commitment? Now the article is buried by all the flip info. Wiltfong wrote on Tuesday morning, "Optimism is high on both sides, with sources around the Bulldogs program confident he will stick with his pledge, while sources around the Commodores program believe that their chances increased exponentially once head coach Clark Lee signed the contract extension." Steve Wiltfong's prediction is on the Commodores. In addition to the Lee deal, a source close to Curtis has emphasized that playing as a true freshman is becoming increasingly important for the talented passer. The opportunity and the success Heisman candidate Diego Pavia is having at the position, playing for Lee and Tim Beck, have the local program coming on strong down the stretch. With that being written, the Curtis camp has maintained its status quo with the Georgia program. The relationship with Kirby Smart and Mike Bobo, consistent championship pedigree, and the talented players he'd be surrounded by are some of the things Curtis has always emphasized regarding the Bulldogs. 4 hours later, he would be proven right, as of now, as Curtis would make his flip official through Hayes Fawcett. Curtis becomes the biggest pledge in the program's history and the most talented signal caller to give a verbal commitment to the program at a high school since Jay Cutler. Vandy football is also on its best run in a long time and may make the college football playoffs. Diego Pavia planning to wrap up his college career after the season, Jared has a real possibility to start right away for Vandy. Playing in year one was ultimately the most important factor in Curtis's decision. Curtis's agent, Pete Webb, told Rivals in the fall, "There's a lot of great hype right now with Vanderbilt. The city is hot right now. They beat LSU. They beat Bama last year. I think they've done a great job to pique his interest and get him to be curious about the program. There's a lot of good things happening with Vanderbilt." Rivals Director of Scouting Charles Powers' scouting report says, "Elite arm talent with creative playmaking ability. Looks like a top arm talent in the 2026 cycle. Ball explodes off his hand, generates considerable velocity on throws to all areas of the field. Has a loose, natural throwing motion, capable of delivering impressive passes from several arm angles. A pure rotational athlete who does not need his feet set to throw accurate passes. Plays with a gunslinging mentality and is not afraid to drive the football into tight windows over the middle of the field. A fluid athlete who is tough to corral in the backfield. Dangerous playmaker and improviser. Had some unbelievable second reaction plays as a junior, evading pass rush and uncorking throws 50-plus yards downfield." While Andrew Ivins from 24/7 Sports described him as a potential multi-year starter that could find a rhythm in adverse situations and making advanced throws, and that he is a bit older for his class, which will give him an advantage going forward. This is not just big for Vanderbilt, but huge for college football, and I am so excited to see what's next for Jared Curtis. What do you think? Does this help Vanderbilt keep sustained success going forward? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out one of my other videos YouTube thinks you will love right here. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, remember to embrace the grind.